this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do more like my long-term follow-up review of the Level 6 Emperor. Look at this thing. So I have been using this thing for maybe a year and a half, a little over a year. We'll just call it a year. And what I wanted to do today, I wanted to kind of like show you, I've got a trip coming up out west. And one thing that I like to do is every year to 2 years, I'll send in my dry suits and get them kind of like reviewed and repaired if needed. This thing is not overly wet or leaking anywhere, but what I wanted to do was kind of like do a quick video and show you how this thing has been holding up. And then one thing with dealing with a company like Level 6, so you can go on their website, and I'll actually leave links down below on where you can do this. On the website, there's a repair or warranty, and they'll judge whether it falls under warranty or whether it falls under repair. Because let's be honest, we put these things through a lot, being on the water and dragging them across. You know, if you drag it across like briars, tear it all up, that's not really necessarily a warranty. That'd be more your own fault on things like that. And that's usually what these little things right here is, because you can see right around my leg cuffs there, it gets hung up in briars. But what you can do, you can send this back into Level 6. And by the way, if you're in Canada, you can send in all types of dry suits. It doesn't have to be a Level 6 dry suit. It could be, you know, pretty much any other brand, and repairs on all brands at Level 6. But if you're in the US, they only accept the Level 6, and you pay the one-way shipping up, and they'll cover the shipping on the way back. So once you send it in, what they'll leak test the seam tapes. They do a pressure test on it where they swell it up, and then they'll put like soapy water on it and see if the seam tape's leaking. Then if it needs to be repaired, they'll use their seam tape machine and put new tape on it. Or if it's got a hole or a broken stitch, they'll re-stitch it. They'll put a patch on it, whatever you need there. So let me go ahead and tell you what I've been experiencing. Number one, it's been pretty dry the entire time. A year and a half later, I think it's still dry. The DWR coating, which is that waterproof coating, has wore down a little bit on this thing, and it does kind of get a little wetter than normal. Overall, it's very acceptable to me on how this thing has been dry. What I do like of this is this Cordura that they put in all the wear areas. Look at how this Cordura, how well it's held up. You know, the stitching has broken a few spots, but it's held up extremely well. The booties have been, I wear socks underneath my booties and I wear shoes. They did discolor a little bit, but you can see right here, all of the stitching and seam tape is holding well. The Velcro seems to still be working really well. The crotch area here, you can see there's a little bit of wear mark there, and some stitching has broke loose there. The Cordura is held up extremely well on the back side of this, on your bum, as you might say in the UK, your bum. Around the legs looks good. Looking at the other booty over here, this booty's still holding up well. They do have this stealth waistband system. This has got a little bunched up, but you know what? This still works really well for me. The relief zipper seems to be holding well, and they will leak test all these zippers. That seems to bite down really good. The cinch waist strap, all of that is still attached. Feels good on that. Looking over the arm sleeves, there's the pockets, so it does have the pocket here. You know what? My pocket still works. How does the pocket go bad? I don't know. Maybe it just rips and your fingers come out the backside. Right here, you can see a little bit of wear along that seam tape right there, but I don't see anything that bad on it. The zipper, I do use zipper lube on all of my zippers. This little flap thing, at first I kind of liked it, but man, you know what ends up happening to me? I end up zipping my zipper up in that little flap a lot. In the future, Level 6, they could definitely make that flap a little longer to pull over better. Maybe that would help out on that. But it does protect your zipper from getting torn or anything like that. Looking over the armpit here, you can see there's a little bit of wear down in this area, but other than that, that still looks pretty good. The cuffs right here, the gaskets, little bit of wear on the outside of the gasket, but I would say that's acceptable to me. I do put 303 on my gaskets when I store them. Oh, the neck gasket. This is where we always blow our neck gaskets out. They have this large neoprene with a cover on it. It helps protect this neck gasket. Look at this. This is this British latex, which is, like I said in my original review, whatever that means, it sounds like it's important. Looking at that, that gasket's held up. A little bit of discoloration on the gasket, but I would think that might be by the 303, guys. You know what? That discoloration might be caused by that. You can leave in the comments below if maybe 303 is kind of like does that to your gasket, if you can see it in the camera there. So let me pull it all apart, turn it inside out, and then let's come back. Here we go. We got it all inside outwards here. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to start up here at the neck gasket first. One thing I noticed is the glue has turned it a little different color, but the neck gasket in and of itself looks really good. And the seam tape around the gasket seems really well too. I never had any leakage around the neck gasket. It always seems like it worked just fine for me. The zipper looks good around there. All of the seam tape looks good in all of this area around the arms. Look at how they did the 3 seam tapes right there. Very interesting on that. Well, it does seem like it's coming up a little bit right here. Like I said, they will test that. The gaskets, there it is. It did that discoloration again. It turned this kind of like brownish, grayish color, kind of like a gray type color, but I don't have any leakage in this. I do see the seam tape pulling up a little bit right here. You can see that, and we will like see what they say about this seam tape, what their opinion is on that once I get the email back. The left arm looks all good around there. A little bit of peel up right here, but nothing I would say is major. We seem to have this little, but this area right here is like a cover of this 4-way where they all 4 come in right there around the waist. That's come up a little bit. This is looking pretty good. There's inside the booties. You can see how they tape all inside the booties there. First off, I'm going to talk to them, get all my, the RA number, repair numbers, whatever I have to do, box it up, ship it to them, and then they'll give me an estimate through email on what they're going to do to it, how much it's going to cost me, which I don't think it's going to be that much, honestly. It looks like they might not charge me anything. I don't know. But the way this leak testing and all that, pressure testing and all that, and maybe just redoing some seam tape, to me, it looks like all they need. I would almost leave the gaskets the same. But I'll let them decide that, and then we'll just go from there. So yeah, there it is, everybody. That's all I got today on the, the level 6 1-year follow-up review. See y'all in the next video.